Okay folks, this is my design for a 14 by 14 A-frame cabin, and I was requested to come up with this plan for a client, and so I thought I'd just share it with everybody. Now, why an A-frame? A couple of reasons. A-frames were originally designed because they use less material and because they are designed for heavy snow loads. As you can see, you have a real steep pitch on this roof, and so they use these a lot as ski chalets and in areas for camping and places like that where they get a lot of snow, because the snow won't build up on the sides of these roofs and collapse the roof. In some areas you may get 6-8 feet of snow on top of a roof, and a conventional roof house would either start leaking or collapse. And so in order to prevent that, they started designing these small A-frame cabins. But they can work anywhere, even if you don't have a high snow load. I happen to like the look of them, so you know, they're a nice design. They're different, they're unique. They would make a real nice cabin, especially for people that like the outdoors. Now this is a small A-frame. This is designed on a 14 by 14 foot base, and people are always asking me, why do we go with a 14 by 14 and why do we go so small? In most rural counties, you can build a small dry cabin, or what they call a shed, under 200 square feet without a building permit. So that's why we go with under 200 square feet. And I use the 14 by 14 base rather than some other sizes like 12 by 16 or 10 by 20, because a 14 by 14 gives you the maximum width while maintaining a square base, which makes it easier to work with. It gives you more square footage generally than a narrower platform. If you went with 10 foot, you would lose a whole lot of room. If you went with 12 foot, you'd lose a whole lot of room on the inside to work with. So I like the 14 by 14 base. Now 14 by 14 lumber is conventional lumber. At any lumber store you can pick up 2 by 6 by 14s to work with. The other reason I went with 14 by 14 base on this is because that allows me to use 2 by 6 by 16s for my roof rafters, so I don't have to do any cutting on the roof rafters for this A-frame. Okay, these are 2 by 6 by 16 roof rafters, and the length from the peak to the peak here is 16 feet, while the inside base is 14 by 14. That does not count this deck. I put this deck on here just to give you some ideas of how you can make it look nicer. And I included an Adirondack chair and a little barbecue out here. This would be a good size for a single person or maybe a young couple. And I'll show you the inside, but let me go over some of the features I put on the outside. As always, the materials I use are completely optional. I use cedar shakes, but you could go with asphalt roofing, or you could go with a metal roofing. If you're going to be doing rain harvesting, I'd go with metal roofing, but I like the cedar shakes. I wanted to keep this kind of old-fashioned looking. And on the front I used board and bat, what they call board and bat siding, just some weathered looking board and bat siding to give it kind of that old-fashioned feel. But you could paint it, you could use plywood, you could use whatever you want for the material here. I've got a modern door. I've got a window upstairs for the loft. I've got a door with a window in it, rather than put windows in the walls, because when you put windows in the walls you lose wall space. So I put a window in the door here to give light to the downstairs, rather than put windows in the side walls here. Now you could also put skylights in this, but if you get a lot of snow, I would suggest going away from skylights because they tend to leak. But if you wanted more light in here, you could put a couple of skylights in top of this roof here too, on the back side. We have 3 windows. This window is a 2 by 2 window, goes to the loft. And these smaller windows here are, one is over the kitchen sink, and the other one is in the bathroom here. Very nice look. Board and bat siding. A couple of old-fashioned windows in there. Shake shingles. Just a real nice design. Okay, so now let's take off this roof and I'll show you the inside. I'm going to show you some different options for your loft in here to give you more room. So let me zoom in on this a little bit. And we'll just hide that section. Now, one of the first things you will notice is this has a knee wall that is 4 feet high. That's this wall right here, 4 feet high. what this does is it allows you to place furniture against a sidewall without worrying about this angle. And this space in here, which is approximately 2 feet over and 4 feet high, can be used for all kinds of storage space in here. Okay, so it makes it much easier to put conventional furniture inside the cabin, and also gives you all of this extra storage space. And you can see that I have an opening here to the bathroom, which I'll show you a little bit clearer, with some shelves over it. You can store all kinds of stuff back here in this space, and because this is dead air space, it also actually acts as insulation to keep the cabin warmer. So let me rotate this around here so you can get a little bit better look. And we'll zoom in. And let's start with the bathroom. In the bathroom, this is a 5x5 bathroom. And as you can see here, what I've got is a standard 3x3 foot shower base, which you would put a curtain around. I don't show the curtain because you wouldn't be able to see the shower base if I did that. You can see it's got a shower base, 3x3 standard shower base. It's got a pedestal sink with a mirror above it. You can see the shower connection to the walls. There's the shower head. Now let's just see if we can get inside here and take a look at this. You can see that that's the bathroom window. You can see that goes to the wall there. A little medicine cabinet up above the toilet. A bar for hanging your towels on it. Toilet could be either composting or traditional toilet. You can see that there in the corner here. We're going to rotate this down so I can show you from the inside. Okay, now you can get a view of the bathroom from the inside. And here's that shower base, the pedestal sink, conventional or composting toilet, rod with your bath towel on it, little medicine cabinet there, toilet paper holder. Now here you can see where I left this open, but you'd probably want a door over this. But you can see that you can reach right through here, through the bathroom. You can open up a little door here. You've got a shelf for storing your extra toilet paper, cleaning supplies, bath towels, and whatever other stuff you want to store in there, your bedding or whatever. You got all kinds of room behind this 4-foot knee wall to store your stuff. Okay, so that's a 5x5 foot bathroom. You can see that gives plenty of room for a person to go in and shower, use the bathroom, whatever, inside there. Now let's back up here just a little bit. Okay, here you can see the bathroom at a different angle, and what I wanted to show you here is right next to the bathroom wall is a nice storage closet. Now, because this is at an angled roof, you can't go very high, but down here, this is approximately 1.5 feet deep and about 2 feet wide for storing your clothes. And up above, you could have a couple of shelves for storing items that can be folded up there. You could put also more additional storage for your stuff that you don't use, your seasonal gear that you don't use all the time, can be stored back here behind this knee wall. But this gives you a place for hanging your clothes right next to the bathroom. That way you can just get showered and whatever, change your clothes. And this right here is the ladder that goes up to the loft. Now the ladder is designed so that it can be pushed up against the wall, so it's out of the way, and then you just pull it out away from the wall to make access up to the loft a lot easier. And this is approximately a 20-inch ladder, which is a standard size ladder, and it just shoves up against the wall and kind of out of the way there. So now let's go over to the kitchen, because this has a really nice kitchen in it here. Now, you can see there's the window to the back, and this has this is approximately, again, 5 feet by 5 feet, same size as the bathroom here, 5 feet by 5 feet. It has a nice bar sink for washing dishes here. It's got a mini fridge, standard size mini fridge, with a freezer over the top, microwave, 2-burner gas or propane cooktop here. There is enough room here for an RV conventional stove with an oven if you want an oven. A lot of people don't use ovens anymore. They just use microwaves and a burner top. So I just went with a 2-burner burner top to give a little bit more room here. That gives you 2 full nice cabinets underneath, another cabinet underneath the sink, and drop this down a little bit. You can see here I've got some open, conventional, modern shelving here for your appliances, place to hang your pots and cookware underneath here. And then up above, you've got more cabinet space. Here is 2 cabinets over the sink and 2 cabinets on this side over here, so you got a lot of room for food storage, whatever you need that way. So that's a really, really nice cook space for someone who likes to fix a meal. Not real big, but it's got everything that you need in it. And remember that you also have behind this kick wall over here, you also have additional storage space. So you could put another door like you have here. You could put another door here and just open that up. And for stuff that you don't use all the time, you could store back behind that knee wall. So that's the kitchen area. And plenty of room there for people to work and make a meal. And the bathroom area over here, again, both are 5 by 5 areas in there. Okay, so now I'm going to turn this around and we're going to look at the other side. Okay, so here we are looking from the kitchen into the living area, and what we have here is, this is a 7-foot long couch bed, and this folds down, this pulls out, and this folds down into a queen size bed. So you've got a queen size bed that can be pulled out right into the living area. Just some nice pictures and some wall lights up here above. This gives you a real nice living area right here, just for sitting, watching TV or whatever. And it can be folded out and gives you enough room for 2 people to sleep downstairs without having to crawl up the ladder. So for older people or people with bad backs and bad knees, this would make a nice bed down here, and you just fold it up during the daytime when you're not using it as a bed, and it's your couch. Okay. Now let's go around. We'll look at the kitchen area. Okay, in the dining area, what I went with here is a dining nook based on kind of a restaurant booth, but also an RV style. This is a 3 by 3 foot table, plenty of room there for 4 people to sit at. Makes a nice little area for working on your computer, doing your studying or whatever, have a meal. These boxes would be put on rollers or could be slid around, and these use 2 foot by 3 foot cushions on them. Now, this table is a pneumatic table, which you would find at any RV supply store. When you push down the table, it goes down, and this becomes the platform to make this into another bed. So you have another bed here. Simply by pulling these cushions over, dropping the table, pushing this cushion down, you've got a 3 foot by 6 foot bed for a single person. So here you've got another sleeping area. You've got a dining area, nice little kitchen area, enough room. This table can also be moved around, and because these boxes are on rollers, you could slide this box out of the way, move this table over when you're cooking and preparing your meal. It gives you a nice workspace for additional cooking. And you can also roll this, you can put this cushion over here on these, roll this box over here, and because this has a lid and opens up, you could store stuff in it like your games, your blankets or whatever, and it makes a nice coffee table. You can push that over in front of your sofa, and you've got a nice coffee table there. So very functional room that the furniture can be moved around and used in a lot of different ways. If you want to turn this into a day settee, you could just push this over against this other setting, move the table over, and you've got a nice settee in there if you want to sit and read a book or whatever like that. Now, we'll rotate this around. You can see I've got a guy standing here. And that's just to give you some perspective of how much headroom you would have in this area. This guy is approximately 5 foot 8 inches tall. This has 7 feet of headroom to the floor. So from the floor up to this loft up here is 7 feet. Okay, this guy's 5 foot 6 or 5 foot 8. I can't remember how much I've made him. Now, here's another perspective of the ladder. Here the ladder is pushed up against the wall. This ladder would just simply pull out when you want to go up into the loft. And let's go up and take a look at the loft. Now, I designed this loft a couple of different ways, and I'll show you both of them. This is a full loft. Okay? The loft extends all the way across, and this has approximately 6 foot 8 inches of headroom to the peak. Let's see if we can show that here. Okay, from the peak, from the floor up to this peak, so in the center area right in here, you got 6 foot 8 inches. so it's tall enough in the peak for an adult to stand up in comfortably. Now, this is a full loft, and this is just my idea for how I would design it. There's enough room in here for a full-size bed for 2 people to sleep in. Here you can see a nice window over the bed. And over here, if you wanted to, my idea would be to make this a nice little office space. But if you didn't want an office space, you could put dressers and drawers for your clothing and stuff like that up in here. Either one would work just fine. But I put a desk in here with a computer and a chair and stuff like that. This is your loft opening, which is approximately 2 feet wide by about 2 feet 8 inches long with the ladder. It comes up in the center, so as you're coming up, you're not going to bump your head. If I put this loft opening over here on either side, you'd bump your head trying to get up in here. It comes right up in the center, so you'd be able to come up the loft ladder, stand straight up, and then you can move around the loft ladder to your bed or using your little office or whatever up in here. Nice little loft area. Now, this loft area could also hold 2 single beds for children. If it was me, I would sleep downstairs and put my kids upstairs, or use this for additional storage in an office or something like that, maybe as a guest bedroom or something like that. But if you wanted to use it as your permanent bedroom, you could, using this design. Or this would be a great space for kids up in here. Now, you don't have to go the full loft. I'm going to show you what this would look like with a half loft on it. Okay, so now I've pulled off both side walls to open this up so we can actually really take a good look at it. And here, I've changed the design to make this a half loft rather than the full loft. That gives you a nice, real open space over your living area. Here's that couch again. Again, this is 7 foot long. It folds out to a queen-size bed. Okay, and that gives you this open feeling that a lot of people like in these cabin designs with a half loft. Now, with the half loft, you could put 2 small beds. I would say these were probably for children. But you could put 2 small single beds. The loft opening comes up so that they could come straight up into the loft and then go to their beds. And on this end over here, I put a small dresser or drawers for their clothes, books, toys, whatever you want to have up here. A couple of nice little lamps sitting over here so that they could read in bed. This would be a great place for kids, young teenagers, but it could also be used for adults if you wanted to. Now, this way you have a queen-size bed downstairs. You have 2 beds over here, and then you also have that bed in the dining area, so you could actually sleep 2, 3, 4, 5 people in this small 14 by 14 cabin. That's pretty good because you know, you go up, maybe this is just your weekend cabin, your guest cabin, your hunting lodge, something like that. You got a couple of friends that come over that need a place to sleep for the night. You've got it for them here, okay? Nice beds, nice comfortable area to work in. So let's back this up a little bit here. So you can see these areas now that I've got them opened up. Here again, you can see your kitchen area. You can see you've got a nice travel path through here. This is nice and wide through here, about 4.5, 5 feet wide travel path through here to go into your kitchen, to set up a meal, to sit in your living room. You could put a TV against this wall over here so you could watch your TV. And then the bathroom. We'll swing this around. Nice 5 by 5 bathroom. Here's your dining area again. Here's a little bit different perspective on that loft. Okay, 2 single beds. Nice, bright, airy. And these windows would be helpful because heat tends to rise. So in the summertime when this gets hot, you can open up these windows and let this heat out. I'd also recommend probably a peak vent up on these. I didn't include it, but you should probably have a peak vent up there just so you could open that up to get any additional heat because heat does rise and it's going to get a little bit warm up in this loft. But you can see here you've got a nice open travel path to get to your bathroom, to get to your kitchen, and this would raise up so you could, you could see up into the loft. So that is one design. If you don't want the full loft design, you can go with a half loft. But the full loft does give you more room. If you're interested in maximizing the room, then the full loft would probably be the better deal. But a half loft will give you plenty of room for sleeping and taking care of guests, whatever like that. Or if you got kids, the kids would probably really enjoy the loft. Okay, so that's the 14 by 14 cabin. We'll show this from a top perspective to show you the travel path. Here you can see your front door, walk through, your nice little dining booth area, kitchen over here, bathroom over here, living area. And we'll turn this around. You can see the space to walk through is very nice. You've got a nice closet over here for hanging your clothes, ladder access. The ladder pulls away from the wall when you want to access your loft. Nice little kitchen area. Okay? So that's a 14 by 14 cabin. Now here you can see I used, on the front of this, I changed the front of this to show if you wanted to use a fake log wood siding, you could also do that. So you could use a log wood siding. Instead of the board and bat, if you like that better. And I want you to keep in mind that this has lots and lots of storage space for such a small home. We'll rotate this over here. All of this is storage space. Now, I didn't put in the openings to show how you would access this because I put in this furniture and stuff like this in this floor plan just to give you ideas. However you want to do it, it's just fine. But you could open these openings up anywhere with a door on the other side of them, so that you could just open it up, and then this could be put in with shelves. However you want to do it, you could store all kinds of stuff behind this knee wall that you don't need. Most of us have a lot of stuff that we hardly ever use. Maybe once or twice a year we use it. The rest of the time we don't need it out in our living space. So store it out of the way, back where nobody can see it, and only pull it out when you need it. Okay? So that's with these knee walls, and you have them on both sides. Okay, 2 foot by 4 foot space. Back up here. You have these knee walls, and you could put openings to access them. You could even make them open cubicles if you want, for storing books, computer equipment, whatever you want. But this gives you tons of space back here behind this knee wall for storing your stuff. So I think that's an important feature of this cabin, is because it allows you to live and have all your stuff, but not have all your stuff out in your way, and that makes it really nice. So there's your design that you could use different loft designs for however you want to use this. Show this again from the top. Here again, now you can see your dining area, your living area, your loft area, nice walk through to the kitchen, and just a very nice space in a small house. Remember, this is only 14 by 14 with 16-foot sidewalls, so that's a really nice space. So let me switch back here to the outside perspective again. Okay, so now we're back on the outside of the A-frame cabin. Again, this is 14 by 14 using conventional lumber, 2 by 6 by 16s for the sidewalls here. Now, I did a little bit of material calculation to try and figure out about how much this would cost. If you use just conventional basic materials, just for, not counting the deck, any furniture or anything like that, just for the construction of the cabin, would be somewhere between $1,500 and $2,000. Now, of course, that's going to depend a lot on what kind of materials you use. If you want really, really nice materials, it's of course going to cost you more. If you want to do some recycling, and I always recommend recycling doors and windows at least, okay, that will save you a lot of money by recycling doors and windows. If you go with a board and bat siding, that's less expensive than using some of the other composite materials for siding. Now, this has a 1 foot overhang over the windows and doors, and that's really nice because that'll protect these walls from getting hit by the weather, and keeps the sun from becoming a big problem through these windows because it gives you an overhang, so that would be really nice there. Now, I would put this either on a deck block foundation. If you don't want a permanent foundation, you could put this on a deck block foundation, or you could put it on a permanent foundation using poured cement piers, or you could do a footer wall, or you could even put this on a basement if you wanted to. Any one of those would work, but of course that's going to add to the expense. Just using deck block and using ties to hold this down to the ground wouldn't add that much to the expense, but however you want to do the foundation. Now, I give you the SketchUp file for free. You can go and pick up the SketchUp file. You will need Google SketchUp, which you can download free from Google. Do that first, and then you can download the SketchUp file, and I think there's 3 of them, and you can play with this any way you want. When you get the SketchUp files open, you will see a screen. Just go up there to the top, and you can click on any of these walls, either of these walls, and select the wall, and you'll see this blue box showing up here, and then go up where it says Edit, and just click on Hide, and that will take the wall off so that you can go inside. And Google SketchUp is a really great program. If you're looking at designing your own house, I'd really learn how to use Google SketchUp. But that way you can unhide these walls or hide these walls and look at them from any perspective, so you can see the whole interior. You can take off both walls to get an even better view. Go up to Edit, click Hide, and now you can see both sides and the full plan of the loft and the whole design. So that's really nice. And all of these units are designed so that you can change them any way you want. I try to make these as easy as possible for people to move something. So if you don't like something, say you don't like that desk up there, just click on it. Blue box will show up around it. Go up there to Edit, go to Hide, and get rid of it. Okay? Put whatever you want in there. It doesn't matter to me. I just put that furniture in there to give you some idea of how much room there is and how it could be used. But please, use the space any way you want, okay? Because that's the whole purpose of this, is just to give you ideas for a design. Now, what I intend to do is I'm going to write another book that's called 10 Tiny Houses Under $2,000. And these are going to be cabins like this A-frame, like my 14 by 14, like my 10 by 20 plans, and a lot of other plans for small houses that can all be built for around or under $2,000, that are designed to be under 200 square feet, so you could build them as a shed without building permits and codes and things like that to worry about in rural areas. So what I want to do is write that book, and then I will show you how to actually construct these cabins. But they're not too hard to figure out. So you can use the SketchUp plans, and that will give you an idea. The SketchUp plans for this A-frame 14 by 14 are free. Just go download them. Then I would recommend, if you don't have my book, Ultimate Off-Grid, get a copy of that, because I show you how to construct these basic small cabins in that book. I show you how to put up the foundations, how to build frame walls, and all that. And I include all the information for how to put up your solar panel systems, a wind power system, how to hand drill a well if that's possible on your property, and just lots of information on appliances and security, and even landscaping and gardening and things like that in that Ultimate Off-Grid book. So if you don't have that, go get a copy of that to go along with these free SketchUp files, because that will really help you in deciding what will work in your plans for building an off-grid or on-grid house or cabin. Alright folks, I hope you enjoyed these plans. I hope you enjoyed this A-frame cabin. I really think it's a beautiful little project, not very expensive. Would be great as a guest house, a grandmother house. Could even be used as an office. If you took that living room and kitchen out, you could use that all as an open space. I would leave the bathroom, but you can use that all as an open space, make a great office or a little workshop, something like that, for not a whole lot of money. Okay folks, have a great day. Thanks for stopping by and watching my videos. Please visit my website, www.simplesolarhomesteading.com. That's where you can get more information and download the SketchUp files. Thanks. Bye.